believe it or not, and I'm going to say this on camera, the Cayman is actually a better drive.
I'm here with Sonny today. We've met up again, and we're not talking about a Cayman, and we're not even talking about a Porsche. Something special. I didn't know that Sonny had something special up his sleeves, and I'm going to let Sonny explain why we've met up today.
You know, Max has done a lot of video on the Caymans and stuff like that. Let's do something a bit different. So today we're going to talk about something a little bit more special, well, special to me anyway, and I hope you enjoy it. When I was younger, you know, I had a dream that, you know, before I get into retirement and, you know, I'm an old man and, you know, I've got a walking stick and I can no longer drive, at least once in my life, if not even for a very short period, I want to buy something that, you know what, makes me alive and makes my heart beat and something special. I've finally done it for a short period, and here it is, and I would like to show it to you. This is my beloved Ferrari California. So today we're going to have a look at the Ferrari California. As I said, it's not a Cayman. I've got the Cayman, but we're going to talk a little bit about what the California is all about, and we're going to do a couple of things around comparing it to the Cayman, because they're totally different drives. If you ever get to the position where you want to get your first Ferrari, you'll find there's a big price differential between getting a what is the desired red, the Rosso Corsa with the beige leather inside, and we'll have a look inside in a minute, versus any other colour, your blacks, your blues, your yellows. There's almost about a £10,000 price difference. And at first, if you're like me and you're a bit, thinking about the money side, you think, I'm not paying 10 grand more just to have a red colour, but believe me, it's worth it.
What year is this car, by the way?
This is a 2010 model. Wow. Yeah, but this is the combination you want, guys. This is the Rosso Corsa red with the beige. It's called the Daytona leather. There's actually only 3 buttons, right? There's reverse, auto drive, which is just basically driving forward, and launch control. They're the only 3 buttons, and the other 2 buttons are just windows and the roof going up and down. Because believe it or not, guys, this car, the thing I love about this car is because when you look at it, it's very, very sexy, looks like a beautiful coupe, but actually it's a convertible. And here's the other brilliant thing about it. How many Ferraris do you know that can seat 2 people in the back? So if you've got a couple of kids or something, or you want to take a couple of people out, you've got room in the back to put a couple of kids in the back. Most Ferraris are 2-seaters. I can't do that in the Porsche Cayman. The Porsche Cayman is only a 2-seater. We've talked about, when we talk about the Cayman, we've talked about the fact that you can have fun and you can enjoy life to the max without having to buy the top end of the model for every mark. So the Cayman's not the top end, but it is very, very fun and fantastic. Similarly, this is what they call the entry-level Ferrari. If there is such a thing as an entry-level Ferrari, if you get what I mean, because let's not beat around the bush. It costs a bloody arm and a leg to run, right? It's not cheap, but they do call it the entry-level Ferrari. But you don't need to buy the top of the range LaFerrari or the 812 Superfast. You can have just as much fun as those cars in a California. So that's what I'd really say about it. So these exhausts here, believe it or not, a lot of people don't like these exhausts that end up being like shotgun exhausts, which is one above the other. They don't like those. They actually prefer the more traditional style, which is exhausts next to each other, the quad exhaust style. But for me, I don't really mind it. I think it's something a bit different.
We're going to see you in a bit. We've talked enough about the car. I want to see it moving.
Yeah, he wants to see it moving. All right, let's do that.
Large now. We've got 3 cameras inside. We've got 1 on me, got 2 on Sonny. I haven't done this before. The car's the show. You're the star. Over to you, mate.
Hello, everybody. Everything starts with a dream. Right? Everything in life starts with a dream. Yes. Right? If you can dream it, you can do it. Right? And today, I have put the hard yards in to get to a little element of fulfilling some of my childhood dream. And I've always wanted a Ferrari. Day one, always wanted a Ferrari. Love the Porsches, but always wanted a Ferrari. Ferrari's my dream car. By hook or crook, even if it's only going to be for a short while, I've got myself into this Ferrari California, and you know, it sounds amazing. I mean, this is and you'll hear it in a second when we start it up. This is ready for this, guys? 4.3 litre V8. Let me repeat that. V8.
Maranello engine as well. Yeah?
Maranello engine as well, and it's fantastic. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. You're going to spend. You get one of these. You're going to spend 50% of your time on the road enjoying the V8, and you're going to spend the other 50% of your time. Guess where?
Working for it. What?
No, in the petrol station.
Oh, really? That bad? Is it? What do you get out of this?
I normally get about 130 miles to a full tank.
So what's that miles to gallons about?
12, 13, 14, maybe 15.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Drinks.
Yep. In traffic, I've got about 8 or 9.
Well,
but guys, it's not about that, is it?
Yeah,
it's not about that.
Yeah.
What is it about? It's about living life.
Enjoying life and cars to the max.
Yes.
Yay. Come on, let's start them up, man. Come on.
Right, let's do this.
There we go.
That is what the smile that comes on your face, on my face, every time I start her up. I mean, just listen to that V8. Now, if you guys, I mean, hopefully the audio is really good. You hear that? That is a very, very different sound to the flat 6 Cayman, or even the 911s. Actually, just do a quick compare and contrast. The 911, even the 911 turbos, they are relatively very, very quiet cars. Yeah, they're almost like the silent assassin cars, aren't they? Yeah, where this is loud and boisterous, and the big V8 and the popping noise,
Well, you say
etc.
V8, so I was in Neil's Aston Martin recently, and that was a V8, a Mercedes AMG engine.
Yeah.
But this V8 is completely different in the way it sounds.
Completely different
It's not, you know, the Mercs have that low end sort of growl.
Yeah.
Type. This was more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
like
this
Italian
is
sound.
this is a very different kind of Italian. You know, just that's a very, very different. I can't even describe it. If you closed your eyes, and you just listen to it, you would know that is an Italian Ferrari or something. Believe it or not, and I'm going to say this on camera, the Cayman is actually a better drive. Yeah, this thing is not good around corners. It's big, it's wide, it's you know, a little bit floaty, and you know, it's not got the go-kart feeling, but it's a red Ferrari and it's a big V8.
Come on, let's get this car out on the road, mate.
Let's go, mate. Let's go.
I want to feel this.
If you come out of the Cayman and you get into this almost feels like a barge, because it's so wide and it's a bit. It's not as planted.
You sit quite further back from the front of the car.
You
as
do.
well.
Look how long the bonnet is, Max. You know, you can see, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a very, very long car.
It's talking, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This thing. We just try and get close the windows a little bit. Don't forget, guys, right? You know, this car pushes out 460 brake horsepower. You know, V8s are. What do you think, Max? Nostalgic?
Well, dying breed. I mean, I guess with emissions regulations and so on, everyone's getting smaller engines now. So
Yeah.
I think the V12s have almost had their life now. I think Ferrari have said, well, the 812 Superfast, is that the last V12?
That's what they've said.
That's what they've said. So
because everything's getting turboed now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everything's getting turboed. Everything's about emissions. Everything's about fuel economy. And you know, I took the opportunity just to give you a little bit about my logic, if there is ever a logic to buy a Ferrari. Well, my justificational logic was: look, in a few years' time, define few, insert yourself. V8s are going to basically be outlawed or not going to be readily available. So now's the time to get one while you still can. When I bought it last year, it was already, you know, 8 years old, and I thought, guys, 8 years old with 19,000 miles on the clock. What the hell's going on? Why are people buying these cars and not even driving them? That's barely 2,000 miles a year. But actually now it's got 21, 22 on the clock. I've followed the same pattern. Not on purpose, but it's just happened that I've only done 2,000 miles in the whole year, because what I've worked out quite quickly, even though it's a beautiful car and a beautiful drive and it looks amazing, it's just not a practical day-to-day car, Max. You know, if you use it as a daily driver, you better have some deep pockets to take it to the petrol station every day. And listen, I don't know if you can hear this, but this is Italian engineering for you. Porsche, very Germanic. Everything is super solid, super cool interior. The Ferrari, you can hear the rattles.
I can hear some rattles up here. Where is this?
It's probably the glove box here. It's the glove box here. You know, the build quality, you know, it's Italian manufacturing. You know, it's the Alfa Romeos, it's the Ferraris, etc. It's the Fiats. You'd never hear rattles like that on the Porsche.
No, it takes me back to what I had before my Cayman.
Yeah. But you don't buy a Ferrari for that. You don't buy a Ferrari. You know, this is part of the experience of a Ferrari, the rattle and, you know, the door not shutting, quite getting the clunk on the door.
So I was supposed to meet Sonny at around 8 o'clock, and he turned up a little bit late, and I got the message saying, sorry, I'm a bit late, I had to pump up one of the tyres, because was it one of the sensors?
The sensors came on, etc, etc. So guys, you know, let's not beat around the bush. Getting an Italian, let's call it supercar,
it is a supercar.
Yeah, you know, Italian supercar is a labour of love, right? You'll hear a rattle there, and you know, I'm probably like you know, I hate rattles, and I hate, you know, I get in my Porsche and it's super quiet and super solid, etc. And I get in here and this starts rattling, or the sensor light comes on for the tyre, or you know, this is a little bit plasticky here around the trim. But Italians aren't known for that. Italians aren't known for building the best quality, you know?
Well, hopefully they've changed a bit now if you're going to spend 300 grand on a superfast.
Yeah, exactly. Has that rattle got on your nerves yet?
No, it's alright, it's part of the experience.
It's part of the experience, yeah?
Hearing you talk about this car, then I'm thinking, you had this car before the Cayman.
I did.
So
did.
Why did you buy the Cayman?
There was a couple of reasons why I bought the Cayman. I got out of a 991 turbo to get into this.
Yeah.
Right, so I got out of a 911 turbo, guys, to get into this Ferrari, and I got the Ferrari, and it ticked the box, and it fulfilled a dream. But I missed the Porsche. I missed Porsche.
Yeah.
I missed just the whole Porsche experience. You know, the getting behind the wheel, the Porsche logo, the Porsche drive, that flat six, because the Porsche is a very different drive. So after years of having Porsches, you know, 7 or 8 Porsches in a row, I missed it. I felt like something was missing out of my life.
In terms of why you take this car out and then why you take the Cayman out, is this more of your treat, your special occasion?
Yeah. So listen, I'm going to be frank with you, and frank with all the viewers. You cannot buy this, no matter what anyone tells you, and I've lived with it for 13 months. It is not a practical everyday car. Right? There's hardly any boot space in this. It's marketed as a 4-seater. There's a couple of seats in the back, but unless you've got small kids or, you know, constrained on height, there's not many people you're getting in the back of this. That's the first thing, right? And there's not much shopping you're getting into this thing either. That's the first thing. Secondly, you've got to spend your life in the petrol station, right? So you've got to have deep pockets. And thirdly, it's what I call the H factor. And the H factor is literally, let's turn this off a little bit, and the H factor is the hassle factor. Okay. So you've got a red Ferrari, you take it out, you're going to get a lot of attention, guys. That's just the way life is. Yeah. You come out of the supermarket, there'll be people around the car trying to take a picture, because you don't see that many red Ferraris around. You'll get people basically leaning on the bonnet, trying to get a picture. Yeah, geez. Exactly. Or putting their hand on the car trying to get a picture. So you get a lot of that going on. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, if you think about the normal person, you're either going to go Tesco shopping, can't take it there. People are dinging their trolleys, people open doors, ding your car. You come out, people are taking photos, putting their hand all over your car. That's number one. Number two, you might go to the town centre. Are you really going to take a gleaming red Ferrari California and park it in the multi-storey car park?
No, I hear you. Yeah.
You're not going to do that, you know. So that's the other thing. The third thing is, you're going out in the evening, you're going to a nice restaurant, out with your family, your kids, your wife, your girlfriend. You know you're going to have to park your car in the restaurant car park, or you're going to have to park your car on the street. Guys, I'm sorry, I've been there, I've done it. You're not going to enjoy your dinner.
Yeah, I'm like that.
You're not going to enjoy your dinner, guys. Yeah. You're constantly going to be looking out the window.
Can we go now? Can
we go
everyone
now?
hurry up eating and let's go?
Yeah, it's just not gonna. You're not gonna enjoy your night out because you're just worried about your car all the time. Now, coming to your point, why I got the Cayman and why the Cayman's more practical. The Cayman is what I call. Give it a little bit more glass. The Cayman is very, dare I use the word, as much as a Porsche can be, understated. Well, blooming everything's understated compared to a red Ferrari, isn't it? Yeah. But I can go about my business in the Cayman. No one, people will give it an admiring glance, but no one really goes out of their way to sort of, give it undue attention. I can take it. Believe it or not. Apart from the fact there's hardly, much boot space, I can take it to the Tesco's. I can, take it to the town centre, park it up, and the 2.7 litre base doesn't drain my pocket for 70 quid of fuel every 3 days. And that's the beautiful thing about it.
Even if people are checking him out over there in the car. One thing that when I look in the rear view, in the wing mirrors, it's the whole red. I can see the arches on the Ferrari. So
yeah, exactly.
It's even special looking in the wing mirrors.
Yeah, and when you get into it, the big yellow dial in the centre, just the way Ferrari have designed, just even the way you start it. Look, it's got a big red button in the middle of the steering wheel.
And this was 2010 we're talking about.
Yeah, 2010. Yeah. It's got a big red button in the middle of the steering wheel that says engine start, like almost like fire.
Yeah.
More cylinders, more fun, more petrol.
Bigger fuel bills. But as you say, we've got to enjoy our life sometimes.
Yeah, you've got to do something, right? It's a labour of love. It's very expensive. It will take a lot of money out of your pocket. But if you can do it, even for a short time, I would recommend it.
Let us know what you think in the comments. I mean, if you're a Cayman owner, whatever car you own, list out the car that you own, and then what would be your dream car. So obviously, I guess if I could get another car, Cayman GT4. I actually quite like the new Corvette. The C8 looks interesting to me.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
But my current car's a Cayman. More than happy with that. As you say, I wouldn't want to really have a car where I'd have to take it to a restaurant in the evening, and then I'd be worried about where have I parked it. The H factor, I quite like. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah, the H factor.
I don't.
It's
really
very important, guys. Very important, guys. Yeah. So now the other thing is, I just want to quickly talk about, and again, I'm going to keep it very, very real here. When I bought this car last September, I was actually, if you think about it, I've never had a Ferrari before. It's my first Ferrari. I was actually very, very scared. Yeah, and I was very nervous because it's almost like unknown territory, and I was very, very scared. And the thing I was most scared about was it was bad enough trying to buy this thing. What is this going to cost me to maintain and service? And
I hear
upkeep?
Things go wrong. So my coolant hose went £1,000. If something goes in a Ferrari, are we talking like £3,000 bills minimum?
Yeah, I heard horror stories. To put a new gearbox in this is about £15,000. My Porsche Turbo, the 2-year warranty on that, the extended warranty I did buy on that car. Well, it came with the car, but I did buy one on the previous Turbo. Was £1,900 for 2 years. So that's about.
I think that's expensive.
And that's £950 per year, roughly. Right? The extended warranty per year on this Ferrari is £3,800 per year. Per year.
Ouch! Ouch!
So you want a 2-year extended warranty? It's £7,500.
Oh, way!
Yes. And I challenged Ferrari, so I challenged the dealership and said, how could you even justify this? Porsche charge 900 quid a year for a warranty on the Porsche Turbo. How could you charge 4 times that, 3,800? You know what they said to me? They said 4 words. They said, or 5 words maybe, because we are Ferrari. That was their response to me. That's the only response I got.
Jeez.
They are Porsche, we are Ferrari.
And your glove boxes rattle.
And my glove box rattles.
Is that what it means to be Ferrari?
Yeah, exactly. Obviously.
Oh man, that's a lot of money.
You've got a Ferrari and you've got, you have an engine failure on a Ferrari. You're probably looking at 30 grand for a new engine, aren't you?
Or buy a Cayman.
Or buy a Cayman. Or go crazy, or become nuts and buy both, like me. In
terms of your ownership story, I know that you've got got that achievement, that boyhood dream, you've got into the Ferrari. So how much of it now is, okay, you've achieved that aspiration, you've got the car, how much of it now is the ongoing enjoyment of owning the Ferrari versus the fact that you have achieved it, you've got the Ferrari, you've done that goal. So I'm trying to figure out, now that you've managed to achieve that goal, do you feel like, that's it, I've done it, I've had the car for a while, and when I let it go, if I let it go, I won't be that sad because I've achieved it? Or, you know, are you going to miss the car? Do you want to keep owning the car?
I think it's the former, which is, you know, it's, how do I describe it? It's always the childhood boy in you, isn't it? It's always the I wonder what it would be like to drive. I wonder what it would be like to get behind the wheel of one. I wonder what it would be like to feel the engine. I wonder what it would be like to just own one for a while.
Yeah.
You know, you know, just to say when you get older you've done it.
Yeah. No. I mean, I never thought I would own a Porsche ever as
Correct.
a kid.
Yeah. Exactly.
They were always for like rich people.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
And I think as you get a bit older in life, and we're only on this planet once,
Yeah.
you kind of realise that these are special moments.
So at some point I will let it go, and then I probably won't look back, and then, you know, I've done it, I've achieved it, and if I got to the point where I had to let it go and I wasn't in a position to have one again, I wouldn't regret it. I would be very, very grateful that I've had an opportunity in my life to actually own one.
It's a very wise outlook on life and a very mature outlook, and Sonny, I'm glad that you're enjoying life and cars to the max.
Yeah, thank you guys, and I hope you enjoy this video, and please leave me your comments, and
There we go, enjoying life and cars to the max. Thanks, Sonny.
no problem at all.